GM to YouTube. How we doing? Today we are talking about Gridmaster, my overall take on it as a whole. If you're thinking about playing it, play it. It's worth playing. It's very, very quick. You can get through it fairly quickly. Even if you're taking it fairly slow, it takes about a week, like tops. People are finishing day one, that kind of thing. It doesn't take too long. Effectively what this is, if you're like, what is this? It's kind of a mini leagues to break in their new bingo system for clans. So it has a bunch of tiles, basically, and each of these is going to unlock you some kind of really useful leagues, relic, or item. As you complete columns and rows of these tiles, you get further rewards on the outside. So everybody is like trying to figure out routing, trying to find the best way to go through it. You get more powerful than you ever get in leagues. You have all 3 combat relics. If you're considering playing it, I would recommend it. There's things to like about it more than leagues, and there's things that are less good. It's worth playing, though. It's definitely worth playing. Something huge just dropped. The heroes you know, brothers from the shadows of New York, are stepping into a brand new world with the help of Raid Shadow Legends. And honestly, this video with all the Turtle Squad back brings me back to my childhood and makes me want to play even more. Grab Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo, April, and Shredder himself with their signature moves and weapons in this epic crossover. On a whole new battlefield, and you'll need real strategy and timing to take down Shredder and all the other bosses. The clock's ticking, because this event only lasts 7 days. Not only that, just from starting, new players will unlock epic Tagoar from the Orc faction, a loyal support who never leaves a teammate behind, and after you hit level 15, you'll earn Fayne, another powerful epic champion to strengthen your roster with my QR code only on the screen. For new players, use one of these 6 promo codes below to spice things up and make unforgettable teams. So if you've ever wanted to see the Ninja Turtles throw down with Raid's most brutal bosses, now's your shot. Use my QR code on the screen or with my link in the description below to download Raid Shadow Legends right now and claim your free starter pack before this crossover disappears. And this event won't last forever. It is much faster paced leagues. You are flying through tasks. Like, there's some very basic things like completing the stronghold, which you can do in the first like 3 minutes. That gets you Fairy's Flight, so you can now teleport everywhere in the game. Throw a gnome ball, now you're getting agility XP, right? So rapidly you'll be going through this. You get all 3 of the early pick tools for leagues. So you'll have pickaxe, axe, and harpoon, all 3 of those fairly quickly into the leagues. And you also are just getting super powerful very quickly. You can get Golden God fairly easily at 50 thieving. And if you go for 99 construction, which you can do in about an hour, you'll have the Kopesh, and we all know the Kopesh is unbelievably strong. It is insane how quickly you can kill bosses with this thing, especially with combat relics. So they give you a lot of power very fast, which could be fun. Could be fun if you're looking for something that's a little more fast-paced than leagues. It could be not quite what you're looking for if you're looking for something that's going to last a while, because you'll fly through it. So it kind of depends what you're looking for, whether that'll be good for you or not. I like this as a change of pace, though. I do like that we're not just doing leagues over again. Like, we weren't going to get a leagues this year, and they're trying something different. This is a great opportunity. What I really like here with this tile system that they have going, where you have larger individual tasks that unlock something instantly, rather than like slowly accumulating points like you do with the leagues, is that we have a really good variety of things. So I have this sorted. If I sort it by completion, the easiest ones are like equip fancy boots, do mine a gold ore, throw a gnome ball, steal from a fruit stall. Each of these gives you incredibly powerful relics that get you flying. Like, they get you started very quickly. It also has its fair share of pretty tough ones. Sub 30 Inferno, which is definitely doable. If you're like, is that impossible for me? I'm not good at Inferno. It is definitely possible if you wait to do it towards the end of the grid. Like, you will be so incredibly powerful that this is doable for anybody that gives it a shot. It might not be a one and done, but you can get it done with some work, I promise. We have a floor 5 Sepulcher. We have Get Blorva. We have Reach 2K total, obtain a rare drop from Raxor. Like, there's a good amount of tougher tasks here. So it's not just like, oh, just do all this easy stuff and then you're done with the grid. No, they also put in a good amount of stuff to work towards. That's harder. So your routing matters a lot. Like, I need to get powerful enough that I can then send the sub 30 Inferno. Like, you're not going to do this right away. I really like this UI. When they do put this in as the clan system, it's going to work super well. It has a flip button up here so you can see the reward versus what the combat challenge is right off the bat. And when you click on one of them, it gives you some information about what you're going to be doing to go get this unlock, like what the unlock is, exactly what it does, and what you need to do to go get it. Like clicking on it gives you all this information. Very, very solid UI. Shows you very clearly when you've completed one or not. It works very, very well. Like I expect this to be used a ton by clans in game, like for bingos and stuff like that. It's going to be used all the time. It's a great system. They didn't do region locking this time, which was a concern coming from the RuneScape 3 leagues, which also didn't have region locking. For RuneScape 3, it really bogged down the experience and slowed everything down because they didn't give us quest unlocks. You had to do a bunch of quests, and there's just so much content to do in RS3 that by the end of day one, I was just barely finishing Dragon Slayer, right? It was much, much, much slower than this. Versus this, I didn't do a single quest. There's quests that you need to unlock, but like doing a basic task will get it for you. Sins of the Father is just do Vampire Slayer, right? Kill a Lizardman Shaman, that gets you Song of the Elves completion. So you can do quests for XP early. Like if you wanted to, I should have rushed Waterfall. That would have been really good early. Like you can do a couple of those for XP, but it's up to you. Like you never have to do any of those, which is amazing for the pacing. One of the fun things as well is that we have the classic, like, go rush Scurious. Almost every leagues has this where you're trying to kill Scurious with terrible gear to get that first combat mastery, which they did give us. But they also have a bunch of ways to get to, like, more endgame stuff where you might have some really weird stats. I did a CG with 40 hit points, which was kind of interesting. It was a bit of a challenge, even with the masteries, but I managed it, and then you get Banker's Note. You could be doing moons, maybe, with really bad gear. There's a lot that are kill a single boss, which are doable with almost nothing, which is a lot of fun to go rush. Speaking of rushing, I've seen a lot of people like Foe, Cold One, a lot of other streamers, a lot of people not streaming, trying to run this back after completing the whole grid and trying to speedrun it, see how quickly they can complete it. I saw Foe got like a 13-hour completion. My first completion was 23 hours or something. So people are like finding special ways to route, quickly do things, like push themselves. It's really cool to see. It's really cool to see. Like you've never really seen people speedrunning leagues, but this kind of lets you do that because of the short pace of it. So that's really nice. That's the good. There's a lot to like about it. I'm moving on to the bugs, okay? The first one I encountered, which wasn't even a bug, but I think they should change it, was I thought recall was broken. And I'll take the L on that. I was being stupid, okay? When I hit recall, like, yes, you teleport back to where you were, but it was setting my spec energy and my prayer to 0, and I just assumed it was bugged. Totally forgot about the save memory feature where it, like, saves your stats. I thought it was... Because at one point in leagues, it was just tied to what your stats were when you teleported, but then they changed that system. Why they made it so the default is 0 prayer and 0 spec, I don't know. I feel like I'm probably not the only person that made that mistake. They probably should just make it full stats by default, and then if you wanted to do Derrock or something, you could save it. Caught me off. Unlucky. Probably wasted like 2 hours. Like not spamming specs on things. That's okay though. I had a big issue with the Slayer XP in a bunch of places. The main thing is... So you have the Slayer Master Relic, which makes it so you're on task everywhere. Everything gives you XP. When I went to go run Inferno for XP, because I was able to fly through it, I could do like 25-minute Infernos. I went to kill Zuck expecting a 1.5 mil Slayer XP drop, and I got a 20k XP drop. So the game puts you on a Tiz hard task. It doesn't put you on a Zuck task. That was really frustrating to just waste half an hour. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't be as frustrating in a full leagues, but because this is so short-paced, and we were racing as well to try to be, like the first to complete, things like that are really, really frustrating, where you just lose half an hour because something didn't work properly. Apparently the gemstone crab boss was bugged, like you couldn't unlock the tile, but they must have patched it fairly quickly because by the time I got there, it was done, and I did that within an hour or something, so they did that quickly. Apparently the farming timers were not boosted at first, so if you tried to rush the fruit tree early, you got kind of screwed there. And then also, Golden God building the marble fences, it would pull up your house loading icon every single time. That was super frustrating. Yeah, I was getting a little sick, like having it constantly flash the loading screen in my face every 3 ticks. So that probably is something they should change. So that was the list of bugs. It's not too bad. Frankly, as far as league launches go, like they took the worlds down, put them back up, and then an hour after that, they launched Gridmaster, and there was no downtime. I just hopped worlds and I was playing the game, which is crazy considering every single leagues has been delayed like up to 2 hours. Like this was a breath of fresh air to just log in and play the game. The Jagex launcher didn't go down as far as I'm aware, and everything just worked properly. The worlds were fine. They had the opportunity to launch the worlds ahead of time, make sure they were all working, so it seemed like that worked really good. They should totally do that next time. One of the things I noticed as well with this kind of thing, where it's like very fast paced, is the bugs are way more problematic because if you're completing the whole thing in day one, which is sweats like me, but a huge chunk of your playtime, if something is bugged, is going to be bugged, right? Like you're going to be more frustrated by the bugs tripping you up, and you're going to encounter them the whole time because they're not going to get patched by the time you're done, probably. So one of the negatives of having something very fast paced is the bugs are more of an issue than in leagues, which is unfortunate. I'm going to talk about my issues with Gridmaster. Take this with a pinch of salt. Like I'm giving the full like negatives, but this was kind of a slap together temporary thing that worked really, really well. If you're considering playing Gridmaster, you should go play it, but I'm going to give my full feedback in case they decide to use this system again for future leagues. There's a lot they could do to improve it. So let's go over the issues. One of the first things I ran into is the inconsistency with XP rewards. I think only Dragon Slayer 2 unlock gave you lamps, so you could get 100k XP from Dragon Slayer 2. None of the other ones let you get the XP. Even Monkey Madness 2, the one where you would think, like, that's not technically the quest reward, like you go talk to a guy after. Nope, he doesn't give you XP. But Dragon Slayer 2 gives you quest XP reward. So this conditioned me to think, oh, you don't get lamps for anything, but the 2 tiles that give you combat achievements and achievement diaries, well, you get full lamps off that. So I was playing with the assumption that you can't get any lamps from doing anything, but the whole point of those 2 tiles was to give you a bunch of lamps. I had no idea. I thought they were just giving you combat achievement rewards and giving you achievement diary rewards, but no, the point was the XP, which was really, really important because one of the tiles is 92 agility. Like that's a very, very long tile, especially if you messed up your routing like I did. So not knowing about those lamps as well, a little bit annoying. It might have even sat on the tile and I could have missed it. Totally possible. Could be on me. It did just feel a little bit inconsistent. Big problem with having a ton of teleport relics is the same as before, like with leagues where you have this giant menu with every single bank you could teleport to. If you had Fairy's Flight, every single, like you have a massive list of everything in the whole game. Well, you have all of these teleports. You have all 3 of them, right? So that was getting really, really overwhelming, like constantly trying to cycle through. It doesn't work well to have these items that have every single teleport and give you all of them. My idea was to make it so an option is once you have these teleports unlocked, if you open your world map and click on an icon, then you could teleport straight to it. So maybe if you click a bank icon, it'll take you right there. That would have helped a lot because then I would be like, okay, where do I need to go? Scroll on the map. Oh, fairy ring here, click it. And then it would be like, boom, you're going there. That would have helped a ton. That's probably impossible for them to do engine changes, but if they could do that before the next leagues, that would go a long ways. That would be a lot better, I think. Just noticing like way too many like teleports, like scrolling through all these menus. Speaking of too much, one of the things I was noticing is it was just getting really, really overwhelming trying to keep track of all of the different utility relics they gave us. My whole inventory was filling up with different things that benefit me. And I was trying to, I was basically playing UIM the entire Gridmaster because like I never wanted to bank because every item in my inventory was going to be important within 30 seconds of me banking it. Like you never want to bank the thing that lets you teleport everywhere, right? So I had like 12 slots locked the whole time with important relics and stuff. I think the fact that they threw this many items at us, they really should have looked into allowing us to combine them together. I feel like things like the Sage's Greaves that give you agility XP passively should have not even been boots. It should have just been an effect on your character. Like now you get agility XP when you're running. That kind of thing, like cut down on the bulk items. Repeatedly in like the Q&A and in the blogs as well, they were telling us your choices, you would have a chance to change your choices later. Well, they had this new system where you could link 3 skills together in a certain category and be gaining XP for all 3 of them at once when you trained one of them. That system not only could not be changed ever, it was permanently locked in. They also had absolutely no confirmation. So it pulls up the scroll and it's like, what 3 skills would you like? You click the first one, it goes, okay, 1. You click your second one, 2. And then you go to click on the third one, it's like, boom, you're in, baby. Good choice. Hope you like it. And I made the mistake of picking incorrectly, and I was going to think it over, like after picking the third choice, and it was too late. Like, it was too late. I was locked in, made the wrong choice. They really, really should have had a confirmation on that, but also like an opportunity to change it maybe when you clear a row or something like that. I don't know. Would have been really, really nice. That was kind of frustrating, especially if you didn't link agility properly for that 92 agility tile. That one caught me. It took me maybe an extra 2 hours because I made the wrong choice. So that was kind of painful. One of the frustrating things, and this is going to change perspective-wise depending on how you're approaching Gridmaster. I was racing for a quick completion. If you're just looking to casually enjoy this, this maybe won't be as big of a deal for you. But a lot of the tiles took 10 times longer than other tiles, right? We have that 92 agility tile we're talking about. Things like obtain Blorva, like you have to get the orbs for that and then successfully clear it. By the way, Whisper in Gridmaster was really hard because the sanity system still just kills you. So that's genuinely a difficult boss fight. I died several times to Awaken Whisper. So there are some very, very, very long tiles on here, especially the tiles that are RNG based to get a drop. Yama took me about 40 KC, which even in leagues, that takes a long time. Like that is a long boss fight. I got fairly lucky at Huey. One of the tiles is to get a drop from Huey. Huey, I was hearing it would take people over 100 KC sometimes. Same thing with Yama. Some people took over 100 on those. I think the fact that they were encouraging people to race this, there's like rewards tied to rank 1, 2, 3. They maybe should have avoided RNG tiles like this for this kind of thing. Otherwise, fully lean into it, like make it more of a bingo style, like, hey, if you get this drop, you get this item. But don't encourage the competition because it really sucked for the competition. Like being like, at the end of stream, my last tile was Yama and I was getting really burnt out. I was crashing out. I was sitting at Yama, KC after KC, not getting, especially because I didn't know recall worked properly. Like just sitting there, not getting a drop. Yama also in the Gridmaster for some reason only dropped dossiers. So there was never any like, ooh, pineapple pizzas, like nothing to add flavor when you get a drop. It was purely dossier. Every single kill, useless drop, useless drop, useless drop, useless drop, useless drop, until you finally get the item you need to get the tile. That was very, very frustrating for me. The Chambers tile as well can be pretty tough considering we don't have the guaranteed CM purples. It took me like 5 raids to get a Chambers purple, but you know, those raids are going to be 15 to 20 minutes, even with all the League's relics. If that takes you like 10 KC, like you're looking at 2.5 hours for one tile, right? Like there's good and bad to the get a drop tiles. I think the fact that they were encouraging competition with it, they maybe shouldn't have done this. Maybe not. Generally speaking, with this kind of system, I think they just really should never be adding rewards for first clear and stuff like that on this kind of thing, because it just goes to add frustration. When you run into bugs or you run into getting unlucky somewhere, what I ran into is I did an Inferno for no reason and got no XP. I was trying to find a faster way to train Slayer and there were just no good options. Like I was stuck. I was screwed. And I made a bad choice earlier, which didn't let me train Slayer more quickly. It was just very frustrating. It felt like I should be able to use my skill to get around the mistake I made by running Inferno, and then that was bugged. In this kind of thing where there's like potentially bugs and there's RNG involved, I really think just leaving the competition out is going to make it more fun for everybody. Like doing this, like if you make it in the first 3, you get to design a relic. Effectively, that's just who routed relatively efficiently and then got lucky on Huey, Yama, and Chambers. Like who did that? They win. Maybe not the best system. Not to discredit the people who got it first. I'm sure they routed tremendously well, but there was a lot of RNG involved that really shouldn't have been there for this kind of thing. It was very frustrating on those unique drop tiles that some things were not considered unique. I got a head drop from Araxor. Awesome. Didn't count. But I just got the head drop from Vorkath, which is far more common. That one counts. So, like, just kind of randomly deciding what counts and what doesn't. Very little consistency. Like, when you're trying to fly through something like this, like, things should be more consistent so you're not forced to, like, carefully read the subtext on everything. And obviously, that's a me issue. I should have slowed down and read all the text and made sure I understood everything, but it is still really frustrating when things aren't consistent like that. You might have gone to Yama expecting a dossier drop to count because it's, you know, like the same rarity as a Vorkath head, but no, dossier doesn't count. Things like doing a contract for Radiant to get, like, a Purifying Sigil doesn't count. Getting the Blorva kit, Desert 2, doesn't count. So just feels inconsistent. Getting a single kit at Toa, by the way, like a gem or the thread or anything like that, that just instantly gave you a mega rare. That tile was done instantly. If you're going to make it very, maybe even getting blood vials at Tob, like if you're going to make it very easy to get one from Toa, like I don't see why you made the other two raids so much longer grinds. Like they all should have been like equally consistent. I think one of the problems as well with this grid system is that eventually you'll be down to like 3 or 4 tiles, and any rewards you get are basically completely useless. I didn't see anyone through the entire leagues using the Sunlight Spear. I'm sure someone got use out of it somewhere, but you had to do this Yama tile and this Araxor tile, so you needed 92 Slayer and get a rare from Yama. The odds that you're going to have anything left after that is so low. A reward from getting 99 in construction, like much, much easier than doing this whole row. Like this is just not going to get use. So because they went with a system like this, at some point you're going to be done with almost everything, and then the rewards stop feeling impactful or useful because you're not going to use them anywhere anymore. It stops mattering. I like that they gave us the Kopesh, but the Kopesh would have made way more sense like as this row reward or something. Like the Kopesh should be like hard to get. It's so incredibly... This is probably the best item you can get the entire Gridmaster. So putting things like this ward behind an extremely hard tile that has 92 agility, complete both of the raids, do the sub 30 Inferno. Like no one's going to use this or this, like that kind of thing. You've inherently locked a bunch of items out of ever getting used by doing this system. The other issue is that once you're done with the grid, you're done with the grid. Like you're done. Unless you want to mess around for fun, like just destroy content, which could be enjoyable to some. I could see it. You are ridiculously powerful though. Like that's going to get old very fast compared to old leagues. We don't have things like echo bosses to go try out the power at. We don't have things like hard mode variants of raids where they do... The thing was they made them 50% harder for the hard mode variants of all the raids. Those are not in Gridmaster at all. So you get all this power, but once the grid is done, the grid is done. Like you log out. Like that's it. Very little, not replayability, but like very little to do after you complete the grid. Like the game is done. You win. GG's. Somewhat unrelated to what we were just talking about, but like, dude, these are awards. Like really? This is the best we could come up with? Like really? Really? Like, there's been some leagues rewards that were like, you know, that one's ugly, but some of them look cool. I think there's nothing to look forward to from the rewards this time, which is kind of sad. I would have liked at least a couple things that looked cool, maybe. I guess it's kind of a hard theme to run with, like, how do you make Gridmaster look cool? But they could have come up with something, man. Okay. With that said, that's my negative. Going forward, if they're to use this system again, I think it is a good system. And it works well. Like the UI is great on the grid. It's very responsive. It works well. The unlocks work well. It works. If they want to make it really good for future leagues, it just needs more going on with it. I think making this the only system is really what hampered it. I think if they had more going on, maybe leagues points in addition to this. So some of your rewards are from Gridmaster and some are from leagues points. That could work really well. I could see that. Hedron actually mocked up an idea for more of a grid progression. So maybe it starts off with like a little baby board, like, you know, the things like chop a maple log or go mine a gold ore. These are in your little baby 3x3, and this is all you have access to at the start. And then clearing it gives you some rewards, right? So clearing that gets you some of your more basic stuff. Maybe this full baby grid clear is the Kopesh, right? So like you get done with the early game and they give you something really strong to just start nuking things. Then you have like a mid-tier board that you then have access to. So this is unlocking weapons, combat relics, that kind of thing. And then you can move on to like a full main grid after that. So we have a lot more going on, broken up progression with a big reward for the full clear of that smaller board. And then what would be really, really fun is once you finish Gridmaster, which would be this, you're done with Gridmaster, we have the GM board. The like, all right, you win, now go have some fun. I don't think these even need to unlock anything. These are just like bonus, like you go mess around to just like fully complete. You could do things like, okay, you completed the grid. All the bosses are now echo bosses. All the raids are now hard mode variants of the raids. Maybe you have one that's solo the hard mode top, right? With all of your crazy unlocks. So now it's not like, oh, I got that dragon ward at the end of the leagues and I never got to use it. Well, now you get to use it, right? That Sunlight Spear, pretty important for a solo hard mode top. It's very, very important there, right? So you would get use out of everything in the game. And the fact that this is a little bit more optional fun time just gives you an opportunity to go like use your full power to like go mess around. Side thing. I desperately want them to do a GIM leagues, and this would work amazing for it. Make it a separate high scores, whatever you want to do, but make an option that you could do it as a GIM. This would be so great for getting people into the game. Like, hey man, you haven't played RuneScape in a while. You should come back. We could do GIM on this temporary game mode. It would be so fun. The like comms, the routing, the giving each other items, like it would just, there's no way that would not be fun. Have the option of solo and then the option of Gim. Oh man, that would go so hard. I can't believe they haven't done that yet, especially with this kind of system with like a grid. You could have your whole Gim work towards completing the grid and be like, one person completed it, all of you have that unlock now, like stuff like that. It would be so much fun. You could have the one guy that likes agility go rush agility, get you that sepulcher tile. Like you could divide and conquer. The routing potential for like a Gim for something like this would be incredible. It would be so much fun. Next time they go with something like this, I would like them to focus on the balance a little bit more with what was going on. Like they give us a co-patch for getting 99 construction. Some of these like columns that are infinitely harder than a single tile should be giving more stuff than a 200% XP multiplier, a sunlight spear, the powerful shield, you know. You don't need runes anymore. Like these things don't, generally speaking, the columns and rows, the only ones that mattered were the combat masteries. Those are the only ones we really cared about. The ring and amulet, like kind of nice, but like generally speaking, the only things that mattered were these four. These four tiles were the only ones. Maybe the XP multiplier is kind of nice too, just because they were fairly easy columns and rows to complete. If this XP multiplier was on a row with, or on a column with like Araxor and Yama, you would never bother. It would just not be happening. Maybe a little bit more balance on the row. Like it does feel like totally random on like the columns and rows that like what they are giving you. Like this stands out to me as like, this is one of the weakest League's gear pieces, and it's given to you for a sub 30 Inferno, a Tob item, a Chambers item, and a 92 agility floor 5 sepulcher, and you're giving me like a shield. Like what are we? I mean, it feels like not very much thought went into the rows and columns, so a little bit more balance next time would go a long ways, I think. And especially a use for all these things post grid completion would go hard as well, because then it'd be a little less egregious. It'd be like, okay, doesn't matter if it's not super impactful, it will be useful. Like I will get use out of it. You literally will not touch this probably in Gridmaster, nor the Sunlight Spear. So having just on RS3 leagues, it's crazy how much the old school team showed them up on on a duct tape and earwax like slapped together like temporary leagues. Like this is infinitely more fun than the RS3 leagues was. This is so much more fast-paced. It's so much more enjoyable, like flying through the game, like constantly unlocking stuff. It just worked way, way, way better than that did. And it's not even like a full leagues. It's a little fun thing. It's a little nice appetizer for the real thing. Very well done. I'm really hoping next time they do still use this system, because I think it worked really, really well. I could see this working for a full leagues, just in tandem with more systems going on. Like I wouldn't like to see them scrap points out of leagues, but having some kind of like bonus, maybe make this the combat masteries for the grid or something like that. Like throw in some things on a grid as well would be really, really fun. Like having single extremely impactful tasks in addition to like bulk points and bulk tasks, unlocking areas and other unlocks. It would be a lot of fun to have like all these different like forms of progression and constantly be progressing in different ways, like different ladder rungs. I think this will work really, really well if they do this again. I hope they don't just like trash this, because it worked well. It was really, really fun to interact with. I hope they hear that a lot from people, because people are really enjoying this as well. Like people are having a lot of fun with Gridmaster. So for them to just, if they just decided we're going back to a standard leagues, that would be kind of disappointing. They should totally make use of this. It worked well. I'm really curious how this is going to work for the clan system. Like how exactly are clans going to build this? Is it going to be like every boss is available and then you click like a drop down? Because a lot of people do like, maybe one tile would be get an Ellie. Maybe a tile would be get one of any corp drop. Like there's a lot of different customizability you need for these tiles beyond just, you know, like get one drop from this raid. Curious if it's going to be very, very customizable, because I don't think it'll be super like usable. If not, so we'll see, I guess. I'm hoping this works well for the clan system as well. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It seems like insane for the engine to handle, like the amount of customization you need. We'll see what happens. And that's it for the video. Like I said, if you haven't played Gridmaster yet, go play Gridmaster. It's really fun. A good night to YouTube. Bye. Mwah! Like, subscribe, all those things. Bye. Mwah! Thanks again to the sponsor of the video, Raid Shadow Legends. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below.